So right now we've got the Italian suppliers coming in to drop some samples of cheeses and different stuff. So this might be some of the ingredients that we use on our pizzas. Stefano, ciao.
Are you okay?
Yes. So we're going to do it like this. It's going to be proper.
Bigger now, yeah. So when's the oven coming?
So it should be this week. We want to open this weekend, hopefully. If all goes to plan, by Wednesday this will be done. The dough counter's coming this week. Here we're going to have an oven. We're going to have a couple of fryers. Okay. And then we're going to have, 4 gas hobs.
Alright, okay. Try to use this before Friday because that goes out of date on Friday.
So,
How are you doing? Okay?
I'm good.
No, not bad.
Nice.
I've got some stuff. That's the freshest.
Okay, walk and smell it.
That's La Fiammante. Okay, La Fiammante is a brand that gets used quite popular down in Naples, okay? And this is the original San Marzano. I brought an oil, just the 250, that comes in 5 litre one as well, okay? But try the 250.
Excellent, perfect.
That comes in 5 litre. All this stuff you can store and stuff like that, so it's nothing perishes, nothing goes out of date and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I just need a date up there, look.
Oh,
1883. It's definitely a name. I can't read it. There's a 6, then a 1, 8, 3, so then another.
Non lo so, è quello.
Right, all the best. Do let me know, okay?
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
No problem at all, okay? Okay, guys, see you later. Cheers. Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.
We're opening a pizzeria. We usually run a music studio, but we're currently turning our hand at going into a pizzeria, really. So.
Yeah, it's always been on the cards, like music and food have been two of the main passions.
Yeah.
And this shop here, I mean, we grew up in the streets here, like literally.
Grew up in the streets, man.
Right out there. So I always knew about this shop. It was always a roll shop. There's loads of roll shops in this area. And we've always had that idea, like if we ever get the opportunity to open up a pizza shop, because we're the biggest pizza fans about.
Totally.
We know a good pizza.
Totally.
We always travel to get a pizza to Glasgow. It's half an hour there, half an hour back. We're like, let's sort this.
So yeah, I mean, I guess so. Like, just a couple of Italian suppliers that are in Glasgow. Also mixing it up with some local suppliers as well, though, because we are very keen to have some locally sourced stuff. And off the back of what we've just heard there, it's pretty clear that Brexit and probably the pandemic is causing some issues. So I wonder, it's making me think of some phone calls I need to make just in terms of connecting some local dots for suppliers.
We did meet a supplier that makes his own mozzarella, which is good.
I guess I'd say, what are the 3 tips for somebody who wants to open their own restaurant from what you've learned hands-on?
I'd say learn the product, learn what you're actually going to be selling first. Because we've spent years perfecting how to make dough and the science of it, a bit like music making. Know the market. I wouldn't open up a pizzeria when there's loads of other ones around. You're
going to have stressful days, you're going to have days you're going to question it all, and it's totally fine, that's normal.
And what are the problems you've been dealing with so far?
Things like the power supply wasn't adequate for the appliances and ovens we're looking to put in. So initially that's then calling Scottish Power Networks, Scottish Power Networks, I think that's the name. They're going to have to excavate all outside. You know you're going to have to upgrade stuff. There's the old supply. And if you want to just have a look at that, that's a new one. Just in there, so.
Oh wow.
So there's stuff like that gets added on once you start the venture. So all the plumbing had to get ripped out and redone. But basically once we started we realised we couldn't use anything in the kitchen.
We had a leak the other night.
There was a leak the other night.
And it happened 5 minutes before doing our stream on our other business. So we do a private membership for our studio clients, and we were waiting here for the plumber to come down and fix it, like literally 10-15 minutes before we did that, and it was just like, oh my god, we need to run now to the studio.
There's obviously your licenses, environmental health, registering the business, sorting out the internet,
the council as well.
The council, insurances. There's just so much to it, it's like a bottomless pit of stuff it will continually come up. So you were asking there about like advice for people. It's like, just be aware that there'll be a list that continually keeps
building. And I'm sure that advice will evolve when we actually open the doors and start serving pizza as well. Like, we're not even at that stage yet, so this is why it's just crazy mental, but exciting.
Mate, I got fresh yeast once and I gave you a bit, remember?
Yeah.
You need so much less. So much littler. You need so much less of that than you do the dried yeast.
Aye.
The stench.
Oh, I know.
It's like vanilla.
It's not vanilla.
I like
vanilla.
I need to actually go to the post office. You stay here then?
Yes,
I guess
sir.
so. I guess so.
So,
We have another supplier coming, Carnevale. So they've got a couple of different products, a few more tinned tomato types. Again, we're just trying to experiment with some of the different ingredients because we've got a really lovely dough recipe together. I have to speak to our pizzaiolo Giorgio, who's in Turin at the moment. We're trying to get him a ticket. But for some, there's been a few issues trying to get it. So this week, hopefully, we should have it by the end of play today. So I'm hoping he comes Wednesday or Thursday. And also, I've got this lovely vat of oil that Stephen's friend has kindly told us to take round to KFC. But it's one of the last original things from the original shop that's still here. And a few admin things. I think we'll probably head to the studio as well. I think we were going to look at some music that we'd worked on. Stephen had nearly finished off some stuff that we worked on together and some of his own stuff. So we maybe go and make a couple of tweaks. And man, just sort of trying to get this. I'm going to start tidying up in a wee minute in here, clear the floor. And I'm hoping the work guys come in, you know, probably from tomorrow again to sort of get this place ready. It's getting there, man. But this is your, look, you want to see the new aprons? Banging pizza. So we're at Escapade Studios, which is our other business, which has obviously been suffering quite heavily with COVID and that, unfortunately.
this is where we do a lot of the admin for the studio. We do a lot of like live streams and stuff here. With the wall, you know, that's quite a famous wall, the amount of live streams we've done, the amount of guest DJs we've had play there. And this big fridge here is for the pizza shop. So, big 7-foot number for storing dough. Proper industrial size, you know. So that'll store dough trays. So because our dough is going to be left for at least 48 hours to prove, we had to get a big fridge, and it currently sits here. Admin,
The real stuff.
my favourite. The shop's been closed along the road there because well, it's closed. And the postman had been keeping all of our mail. We've got important documents in here for the opening of the new place. We've got the new business bank card in here that we need to get to make some key purchases this week for the shop and the kitchen. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to open all this up, make sense of it, and then get the card out, jump online and go through my bookmarks of all the stuff that I've got ready to buy for the shop. This is another letter here that I had to get requested to sign up to Uber Eats. So the last piece of documentation I needed was proof that I had a business bank account with the bank in order for Uber Eats to process the application to open up the pizza shop. So that's it here. So I can now take a picture of this, upload it to Uber Eats, and that should be our application finished. Right, it's not working here. Do we go to the shop then?
So this is going to be the single phase.
This is the stopgap oven before we get a big one, just so we can
End
get
of
it
January. We've been held up with Scottish Power, as Stephen said earlier. So we're just making the best of a not so great situation, to be honest. Keeping positive, and we're still going to be able to churn out some really lovely pizzas. And if anything,
add to cart.
by the end of January, once we upgrade the oven and stuff, the pizza level will just keep going up and up as well. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
Do we just get this oven and out bought, and then come at end of Jan we'll just decide on the next one?
I guess so. Mr. George was on about it.
Aye, I've asked him then.
It's starting to feel real, John.
Now it feels real with this coming in anyway, that's for sure.
It's just like a kind of bog standard shredded malt.
Shreddy.
Just to try it, and that's the Fior di Latte.
And that's the higher grade Fior di Latte there.
Woohoo! That'll be the one we use, I think. See that?
That's the cement.
Hey, Georgio's happy.
Is he right? You order this oven then. So the next task, this is one of the last things we need to get rid of. That was in the last shop basically, and it's just minging some sort of oil, vegetable oil, that was maybe used in the shop before. It's been lying in here ever since. We've been dying to get rid of it, but because it doesn't have a lid, we can't put it into a van, because then it'll go everywhere. So I spoke to a mate of mine who, along at the St James's retail park, says we can put it there and he'll take care of it.
Why does that feel so illegal?
Because we carried it 10 minutes and dropped it somewhere.
Here it is, Mark. I just hope it's alright positioning wise, you know what I mean?
Basically, I mate, just want to really see availability in that. The work looked great, and it was just to maybe see how you would go about it, mate. We're looking to try and open ASAP, and really just would love to get you down to have a wee swatch. And
whereabouts are you?
in Dumbarton.
Cool, well if you can give us, if you send over a couple of pictures and send us over your logo as well,
Okay.
then I can have a look at that.
Sound, mate.
Give you a price for that as well.
Sounds great. Sound, getting there.
That company there, reading the reviews, we're basically just needing a single phase oven to get us through until Scottish Power upgrade everything, so, and one that our pizza aiolo and we were happy with, that still delivers the same quality, you know. So I was just finalising with Sandro, who is the main catering equipment supplier, our exact order, what we're looking for, when it's going to be delivered, finalising sizes of when it all comes in, delivery, installation. So yeah, all the fun stuff.
And you're getting everything from him instead of...
Yeah, rather than going to one place for that, to another place for that, you know, you can spend a little less by doing that, but sometimes you're better future-proofing it and, you know, making sure you've got the right thing.
Spend more now to spend less later.
Less later, because you know what it's like, you get what you pay for with most things, don't you? Right, you could save 600 quid on, like, a pizza prep, you know, counter, but really it could break down on you, and then you're chasing companies for parts and that, you know. I'd rather just, with peace of mind, you know, go to Sandro, so that's it.
Alright guys,
So where do you want us?
let's go for a photo.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect. Alright guys, say bangin' pizza!
Banging
Banging
pizza!
pizza!
Yeah!